Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another Step It Up stamping, where we take a very easy card and step it up 2 more times so that you can determine which level of card making you want to choose. Basically, choose your own adventure. Today, we are using the Easter Basket Bundle. It is adorable. It is a Stampin' Up set from the January through April mini catalog. And I'm really enjoying this set. Even though I don't do a lot of Easter cards, there's also a happy spring sentiment that you can use, which will carry you all the way through Easter. So let's get started. I am using a lemon lime twist card base, and then I'm pairing that with Pool Party. I'm using basic black ink. And then I'm also using Versamark. So I'm going to show you that up a little bit closer. And then if you want, and I did want, I use the light bubble bath Stampin' Blend to just color in the inside of his ears. So let me show you the Versamark ink. This is just a tulip that is stamped with Versamark so that it's very, very pale. And the reason why I did that is I didn't want to compete with the bunny. I originally used Pool Party ink, and it was just a little bit too dark. It kind of pulled away from Mr. Bunny, and I didn't really want to do that. So very, very simple card. This is our Busy Bee card for beginner stampers or stampers that are just in a hurry, of which I am usually one. Okay, so now we're going to step it up a bit. Let me bring in our Worker Bee card. And on this card, I made quite a few differences. You can see, let me lay these out together. You can see that the Pool Party layer now is almost a full matte. I changed up this layer to Granny Apple Green, which I think pairs really well with the Lemon Lime Twist. I added a sentiment in Daffodil Delight, so it's not quite standing out as much. Your focal image really becomes now the bunny and the little Easter eggs, which I think are so cute. And I want to point out the background here, and I want to try to get a really good shot of that. There we go. That's better. This is our all in a row embossing folder. It's not a 3D embossing folder. Those are our thicker folders, but I think for it not being a 3D folder, it really, really shows all of the images, if you will, from the all in a row embossing folder. So isn't that fun? And let me give you another look of the Versamark, again, done here. And then our eggs, the bunny's colored the same way, but for our eggs, we are using Bubble Bath, light Daffodil Delight, and light Pumpkin Pie Stampin' Blends. So we're kind of bringing in those Easter colors, and I think they work really well. So this is the card that you would want to make if you want to step it up a bit. Now, I did hand cut with scissors, fussy cut with scissors, the bunny and the eggs. But if you have the bundle that has the dies in it, you'll be able to cut those out with the dies, so it makes really quick work of that. And you do have to have a cut and emboss machine if you want to do this all in a row embossing folder. So chances are, if you have a cut and emboss machine, you are probably going to go ahead and get the dies because it just makes your life so much easier. Okay, you guys ready for the over the top card? This is our Queen Bee card. Oh my gosh, I love this card so much, but it has a lot on it. This is definitely a Queen Bee card. First of all, it is a fun fold. So it opens like this, stands like this. Very, very simple fun fold. I mean, it's probably one of the more simpler fun folds. Basically, you just score it in half and then score the front in half again. And I do have complete instructions for you, so you can check those out if you need them. And then what I did is I brought in some different colors. The Happy Easter's the same. All three of these pool party panels are embossed with the all in a row embossing folder. Man, it's hard for me to get a good picture of that. Let's see, let's try that. The eggs were colored in the same way as our worker bee card, except I added in some more colors. So we do still have the bubble bath, the daffodil delight, the pumpkin pie, but I added in some balmy blue. And I used balmy blue instead of pool party, which is used on the card, because I wanted the blue to really stand out. And when I used pool party, it just kind of blended into the background here. Now, let me keep this card open, because the other thing I did is I brought in, again, Granny Apple Green. This is a die. This grass is a die from the bundle. So I just cut that out 3 times. Very easy to do. And then the stems also were done in Granny Apple Green. And then I brought in 2 more colors. I brought in Highland Heather, which is the lighter purple. And when you cut out this particular die, it cuts out the top and the bottom. So what I did is I did Highland Heather. There's 1, 2, 3. You can see those. And then I cut out Gorgeous Grape. So you don't waste anything, is I guess what I'm trying to say. And then I also cut out the bow from the Gorgeous Grape. And I just love these colors together because I think that they really are fun. They're not totally pastel, which is what I think of when I think of Easter. So they're kind of bright, but I'm using the light blends. So they're kind of pastel-y. So I'm going to go with that. And then you can see that I also cut out Mr. Chicky, who I think is so cute. He's so cute. And these were everything here was cut out with the dies, except for the sentiment. So really fast and easy. And I did the basket. I want you to see how detailed this basket is. I just love it. That's done out of crumb cake. So a neutral color to just keep this very neutral. And then, guys, all I did, you could see on the back here, I just kind of put the eggs so that they were kind of tumbling into the grass. And then I put a few flowers and did the bunny last. The very last thing you end up gluing on is the grass, because that kind of covers up the bottom. Isn't that fun? Oh, you guys. So this card looks difficult. And I'm sure whoever you would send it to would go, wow, she put a lot of work into that. But it's actually really, really simple if you have the dies and a die cutting machine, because you just stamp them, color them, cut them out. Very, very simple. So there you go, my friends. And don't forget, I do have complete instructions for you if you are like me and don't want to have to think, just want to make a very easy card. But we have the Busy Bee card, which I still think is adorable. If you'd like to make cards with your kids or your grandkids, this is a perfect card for that. If they're a little bit older, like between 10 and 13, tween age, you could definitely do this card because they would be able to cut out with scissors the bunny and the eggs, probably the eggs, maybe not the bunny, depends on how talented your children are with scissors. And then for me, when I was making Easter cards with my girls when they were younger, they loved cranking the cut and emboss machine. So they would very, very easily be able to do this card because they would just cut them out with the cut and emboss machine. And the fun thing is when you color out the eggs, if you go outside the lines, it doesn't matter because you're going to cut those eggs out anyway. Okay. So let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite. And then let me know which one you'd be more likely to make. I'm finding that most of the time, the Queen Bee card is everyone's favorite, but they would end up making one of these two, either the Busy Bee or the Worker Bee card. So let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite. And have fun stamping because this set makes it fun. This is the Easter Basket Bundle. Talk to you later, my friends. Bye.